Here we go with take 2 of this week's CopaLoadofRacing vlog. A reason I say take 2 is I've just recorded one and I realised the microphone wasn't working. There you go. Anyway, so I'll let you go through it all again. It was an absolute belter, the last one. I know you missed it, but hey ho. You're probably better off not hearing me anyway with my tips of late. Right, so Cheltenham November meeting. Outside of the festival, they say this is the biggest and best meeting at Cheltenham. Not going to argue with that. Started today. Seen Paddy Brennan do really well. A few winners today. And we also seen Tiger roll back in action in the cross country race, running off top weight. What is a handicap race at that meeting. He's going to be prepped again over the cross country fences this season. Wouldn't be surprised to see him back there in March. It's not a handicap race then, so he would have a hell of a chance. Ran pretty well today, I felt, and of course I would assume that he would be back at Aintree as well come the end of the season. But anyway, let's look at today's action. Well, we've looked at today's. Let's look at tomorrow's action. Totally lost. And looking at 4 races at Cheltenham, I'm going to look at one at Lingfield as well. Love my wee, still my flat racing, pining for it. But so we're going to look at, lo and behold, a sprint race, a listed sprint race at Lingfield. But we'll get to that. Let's get on to the 150, which is the BetVictor.com handicap chase. A grade 3, single farm payment's your favourite there. Calip Mad's going to be well thought of as well. Young Masters in there. Now, I like Vicente. Now, this horse has ran really well at Ayr, and so well that he's won 2 Scottish Nationals. That's how well he's ran. And he's also ran this earlier this year in the Scottish National and finished a very respectable 5th. Loves decent ground, which he should get tomorrow at Cheltenham. He ran in this race last year and was beat by Perfect Candidate, who's back in the race tomorrow. But Vicente's running off a pound lower than in this race last year. Paul Nicholls, we all know, is very handy at producing big handicap winners on the Saturdays, so I expect him to go well. Run about 9 to 1 there, Vicente. At a bigger price, I was going to look at Rock the Casbah, I have to say, but I was put off with that run at Chepstow last time out. And no, I mean, you could maybe draw a line through it, but we'll see tomorrow. So I'm going to take a miss on Rock the Casbah. But one that I will pick out is Dan Skelton's Virgilio, who again another horse that likes a bit of decent ground, having won at the likes of Uttoxeter and Aintree in the spring and the summer. Decent handicap races, it has to be said, that it won there as well. Wasn't disgraced in Grade 2 company at Wetherby earlier this month. So comes here in fine fettle, and I think could run well at a bigger price, around about 16 to 1. Right, let's move on to the BetVictor Gold Cup handicap chase. That's Grade 3 at 225. You've got Rather Be up there at the head of the market, but the one I like is the horse that I backed at the festival earlier on this year. Actually, I think it was my first winner of the festival that year. At that meeting, Mr. Whittaker for Mick Channon, and I well fancied it at the festival and it won, and he came into that race having won at Cheltenham earlier on at that season. I think Rath Binden also won for me that day, so it kind of rounded off a good day, shall we say. That was it. Rath Binden won the national chase, didn't it? Anyway, that's a wee by the by. Mr. Whittaker came back out a couple of weeks ago at Carlisle, had a spin round there, jumped really well and won very well. Very impressed with its performance at Carlisle a few weeks ago. So comes into this in fine form, and I think this is a horse that's going places. Really do. Mr. Whittaker there. But if you're looking for a horse at a bigger price, as always doing these big handicap chases, the horse that I'm going to pick out is for Emma Lavelle, another jockey, another trainer that I've got a lot of time for. Javert ran behind Frodon in the old roan chase last month up at Aintree. It's 9 years old, this horse, but it's been doing a fair bit of. It's not as if it's regularly always out. So you can say it's been a well campaigned horse. This lightly treated, and I think performed well at Haydock and Uttoxeter this year. Uttoxeter earlier this year. It came back, missed 2017, having won at Haydock in 2016 in the May. Another horse that likes a bit of decent ground, which it should get tomorrow, and I think at a big price could run it into a place for you. Right, the 3 o'clock's the regulatory. I can't even use that's one word I hate. Regulatory Finance Solutions Handicap Hurdle. This listed race over just shy of 3 miles. First aside, Ian Williams has 2 good horses tomorrow in these hurdles races, and it might be worth a wee double there, first assignment, and I'll come on to the next one in a moment. But a horse at a bigger price, which I think has a bit of a chance, is David Pipe's V Lion Rouge. A bit better French there. Now, horse that I've backed previously in the likes of the Grand National. It's a very useful chaser in its day. Won the likes of the Beecher Chase. Is very popular horse in some fields. Doesn't mind, not always ground dependent. This horse, I think there might be a feeling it always likes a bit of cut in the ground, but I'm not necessarily with that. So I don't think it'll be that. I'll mind the decent ground it will encounter tomorrow at Cheltenham. And although it's some of its best forms come over longer trips than what it's going to encounter tomorrow, it's got a decent mark over hurdles. It's a horse that's got a bit of class. I don't think it's one of these ones that you say, it's a staying chaser and it just gets round. I think it's got a touch of class, this horse, and I think it could run well. It's had a wind up as well since the National. May do it some. It benefits some, not all. It's not a guarantee it's obviously going to come out and run better after that wind up, but it's just caught my eye, and I think it might be worth a wee shout. Maybe stick it in your each way, lucky 15. Maybe you want, it's up to you. Right, next race is a 3:30, the Bet Victor Intermediate Handicap Hurdle. Now, as I said earlier, Ian Williams in the last race, he's got the first assignment. Now he's got Speedo Boy in this race. This horse was very good in the flat, I have to say. Very good handicapper on the flat. Won at the likes of Ascot in the summer. Ran pretty well in the Cesarevich back last month. So what's not to like in some respects? I don't think this is over 2 miles 5 furlongs. I don't think I'll have any bother with the trip. What you have to remember is, as I say, he stays easily 1.5 miles on the flat, a bit more. And yeah, well, even as I say, he's won over 2 miles on the flat. They tend to go a little bit speed, obviously, because they're on the flat, and it keeps a nice pace for 2 miles. So with the jumps, they don't tend to go as flat out. So 2 miles 5 shouldn't have a problem, as I say, and I wouldn't put you off Speedo Boy at all. But there's 2 horses that caught my eye. Christmas in April was with Nicky Henderson and won at Warwick back in May. He's now moved to Colin Tizard and raced over course and distance back in October here and didn't disgrace himself. Ran well to finish third in a 20 runner handicap. So a touch of improvement there coming off that back of that race. It could run well and lay down a challenge to Speedo Boy. Won it an each way shout, 12-1. Harriet Graham, clerk of the course at Musselburgh. She also trains a few horses herself. And I Wright has been in splendid form up north here, running well in the likes of Carlisle and particularly at Kelso, having won that last twice at Kelso. Granted, this is a step up in trip, step up in class, sorry. It's going to encounter a lot better horses, but run those hot races pretty well, and is also enjoys decent ground as well. So I Right is worth a wee squeak there at a each way price, each way punt at a price of around about 12 to 1. But Christmas in April might be the one to lay down a challenge to Speedo Boy. But as I say, this Speedo Boy, if he transfers that class from the flat over hurdles, then he's going to be a one to watch. Before we move away from the National Hunt racing and sticking with Scottish horses, Golden Jeffrey runs at Wetherby in a 3:20 tomorrow. I like this horse. I always kind of have. Mark Johnson had it and it won a bumper at Ayr, and I've kind of followed it since then. And I just think it ran well last time out at Musselburgh, and I think it's just there. It's just hitting a fine wee tune, and it might just get that win tomorrow. I think he's running about 92, maybe bigger. I put a price there, so Golden Jeffrey should be one to watch. Right, moving on to the flat, as I say, 3:15 at Lingfield tomorrow. Part of the All Weather Championship qualifiers. This Betway Golden Rose Stakes standalone race. It's good enough itself. This listed contest over the 6. You get Gifted Master in there, the Stewards Cup winner. You've got Corinthia Knight. Now there was 2 I was looking at. Muthmere was one of them. William Haggis's horse. Interestingly, Danny Tudhope takes the ride, considering David Dalmira's got a horse in it. But anyway, Danny Tudhope's on board. He's getting a lot of rides at the moment for William Haggis and doing really well. Muthmere's a good horse, consistent enough sort, but I don't know what I was thinking, but I just was put off for the last run at Ascot. But that was the Group 1. That was the Champion Stakes, wasn't it? The Champion Sprint. No, it wasn't the Champion Sprint. Tell a lie. But it was over 5. Didn't really perform. It's always kind of been seen as a 5 furlong horse, and I've too many question marks over it, plain and simple. So I'm going to side with Intisab, the David Amira horse. Martin Harley takes the ride. Won with a big handicap race at the Curragh last time out. I've always liked this horse. You know, he's going to come into this race really fresh because it was way back in July when it ran over at the Curragh. And as I say, will come on well near the end, this horse. And if Martin Halley gets it well placed, coming off that bend, then has a hell of a chance at the finish into Sab. There's a few your old familiar faces in this, like Kimberella the Soul, who performs well on both grass and both turf and the all weather, and my old pal Gracious John's in the race as well. But as I've always said to you, particularly on the all weather, Gracious John seems to do his best work over 5 rather than the 6 here. Right, so that's it. Hope this thing worked. I'm sure it did. So that's it for me this week. Next week it's Betfair Chase Day at Haydock, first part of the Triple Crown of Chase Racing, and that'll be an interesting one. We'll look forward to that next week, and then after that we're looking at the old Hennessy, which no Hennessy news, the Ladbrokes Trophy, but we'll be with that the following Friday. But anyway, enjoy your weekend. Hope it brings you some luck. I'm desperate for a bit of luck when it comes to the racing. Fingers crossed. Have a good weekend. Love your racing. CopaLoadofRacing, in fact.